Today I have Ieva, and like we've had her on here before, and we have her on here again. Today we're going to be talking about LinkedIn marketing and how to increase awareness and increase in relationships within LinkedIn. I know it's probably late for all my American people, and probably too early for all the people on her side as well. But we're going to kind of have it like work it out and just kind of go from there. But for the people that don't know Ieva, she's going to give us a short intro of what she does and who she is, and then we'll kind of get right into LinkedIn marketing tactics.
Hi everyone. Hi Victor. Yeah, we are not normal couple on LinkedIn. We like to meet early nights, like late nights, early mornings. But yes, hi. I'm a marketing professional, and for the last year, I've been active on LinkedIn because I really like B2B platform, and I really like to help professionals and businesses to how to learn how to leverage this platform organically, how to gain visibility, and how to build strong relationships.
Yeah,
So this
that's
is
great. And especially on LinkedIn, where you can build relationships at scale and just do so much more than you can, like, because before like the internet, all there was just talking like in person, and you can only do that so much. But at LinkedIn you can do that at scale and have amazing business relationships and everything else. How have you really increased the quality and the how have you built and started to build your relationships on LinkedIn? Because as we know, they're extremely valuable. How do you kind of increase your relationships and increase your quality of relationships on LinkedIn?
that's the good question. I would go for you as actually, because you are telling quite a lot about the frequency, about trying and being there, and then trying to put out yourself and experimenting. And this is the way how you build relationship. You are just practicing to build those. It's nothing you can build in one day, in one night. You have to understand your audience and how to connect with them. So this is through your presence, through your engagement, through your content. This is something you do constantly and very frequently. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And like recently, I found something fascinating. I tried to post, like we were talking before about the whole PDF document, and I tried just explaining the news. People love that type of content of being able to easily see all the news, what's happening in marketing, because it's changing so fast. And you know where you would kill it, actually doing LinkedIn news, like LinkedIn news changes, LinkedIn monthly news changes. You would kill it in that, and you get a lot of engagement from there. But I did an A/B test recently. I did one text base, Amazon. This is for Amazon audience of the Amazon news. I did one PDF test and then one text based test. And unfortunately, the text based won. And that kind of makes me angry because I worked so hard on those documents and those
Mm.
PDFs. The text based always seems to outweigh the ones that rather than the PDFs. And I wish it wasn't like that. Maybe I have to play around with the PDFs a little more. Maybe I might take away the title slide and go straight in. I don't know yet. But so far, the text based has really been dominating and getting the most engagement so far on LinkedIn. So it's
Yeah,
quite interesting.
Victor, but you are writing actually quite deep content. So maybe people already appreciate what you are writing, and all the additional things they're just, messing their minds. So I think the text sometimes it could be really enough when it's really holding good content and good value for the audience. That's right.
The thing is I really suck at text-based content. Like I'm more of a visual person. So I can't stand like text-based content because I have to write things, which that is my ultimate weakness. But if I do it because I absolutely have to, I try to get that content out. But it's just a lot harder for me as a person because I just like the video and everything else so much more. So it just takes a lot more time. That's all.
Yeah, but it depends what you like and what your audience likes, how you do it. So it means that something is good about your texting that your audience really prefers, and maybe sometimes video content is not going anywhere to comparing like to some text posts. So you should be aware of what audience is replying. What is the feedback?
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. And what's interesting is I'm a horrible writer, but people enjoy to look at my writing more than my video. So people would rather look at what I suck at than what I'm good at. So I don't know how that works. That's probably some crazy dilemma, but that's kind of what I'm dealing with. Trying to become a better writer so that way I can create more text-based content on
But
LinkedIn because that's what I've been
this is interesting that you say that you don't like it, but you are so good at it. I mean that this is
doing.
the trigger what people are saying that you are good on your texting. So I think that just start liking it.
Well, no,
Because
it's my
sometimes
ultimate weakness. Like I have the writing of probably a sixth grader, probably something around that. Like my writing has never been good ever. So like it's just super interesting that people would rather read my stuff than watch it. So I mean, maybe that's the LinkedIn platform. I'm not sure.
actually you could use like the benefit of having such engaged audience, and you could include this audience within your text posts, like tagging people. Like lately I had great experience tagging my network, my like minds, and we reached uh, almost 77,000 of views, which is good for me. I'm not like a LinkedIn whale. I'm just a small, tiny fish, but still, it was nice because people appreciate the content and the people tagged there. So this is something you can use how to like make an addition to your text posts, add your loyal audience into them.
Yeah, and what I've been doing lately is I've been typing for example, on this, like I might for a social media post, I might type in social media on LinkedIn, find the top people that are talking about social media, then tag them under my social media news post. I tag them underneath and say, hey, go follow these people talking about social media. And what they do is once they're tagged, they go and look at it and then they realize they say, oh, wow, this person tagged me. They go and view the post. Then they comment saying, hey, thanks for tagging me. And now what you just done, once they comment, all their followers are going to see it. And then it just starts that perpetual motion. So lately on that news based content, I've been tagging people that are talking about it in the area and where they comment, and then they realize what I'm doing, and I establish a relationship with them and all their followers. So it's working quite well. So I definitely am down, or I have definitely been starting to tag more and more people in the area of what I'm talking about when it's relevant. So I totally agree with that.
But actually, Victor, there's another side of the medal in this case, because if you start tagging people and companies which will not reply to your post, then algorithm will just stop your post. So this is also a tricky part. You cannot tag people with whom you already don't have any relationship. So this could end the post, at some point. So it's better to include your loyal audience within such posts.
I agree. I agree not to spam and like I make sure like these people are very relevant people. But what's interesting is I've never had an interaction with them, and I tag them, and then I say like the way I say is like, hey, go follow these people, these social media experts, and they're actually very appreciative that I tag them rather than like annoyed, and they comment below and even share the post. And I establish a relationship with those people that I did tag, making it where it works really, really well. So lately, like you don't necessarily have to have necessarily a relationship with them yet, but maybe that's
Yeah.
the way you start the relationship. So it's definitely been very, very effective when
Can you
establishing it.
can you jump in a little about the comments? Have you ever met like people through commenting? What is your experience?
Yeah. So my tactic in when I comment, when someone leaves a thoughtful comment, every single time I make sure to go connect with them if I'm not already connected already. So if once as soon as after that, after I basically, hey, they left a thoughtful comment, then once I'm connected with them, I finish the connection that goes through, and then I message them and I said, hey, thanks for the thoughtful comment. You really left. That was a lot of value that you left there. Would you be interested in doing a webinar or just maybe talking or whatever you want to do? And then just going one step further within that relationship, just so I can really, really just continue and basically have more relationships with more people, because that's the end goal. The end goal is to really establish and really increase that strength of the relationship with other people. And the way I've been doing that is basically when someone comments a super valuable comment, I connect with them, message them saying, hey, I love to connect with you. I want to get to know you, and then just continue that relationship and make it stronger. So that's basically what I've been doing.
Victor, did you know that there's restrictions from LinkedIn, how much invites you can send per week, per month?
It's
Like,
not an in-mail because I'm connecting with them. They accept the connection, and then I message them.
connection invites. These are restricted. You cannot connect. You cannot invite more than 30, I believe, in a week. So this is something you should consider. Regarding that you are sending connection invites to all your commenters. But how do you feel about the comments like "I like," "Awesome," "Go for it"? What do you think about such ones?
Like the short comments.
Yeah. Do you think they're organic? How they are born?
The ones that are like the super generic. You're talking about the super generic ones, right?
Super basic ones which
Yeah,
don't
the
say
super basic
anything
generic,
about
like just the
the.
ones that just yeah, the ones that say awesome and everything. Yeah, like the ones that I necessarily don't like are the ones that like say, "Oh, I'm a graphic designer. Here's my link," and they put all their links in there, and then like I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like what are you doing? No one's gonna do that." And basically, the way I navigate those type of comments is I say like, "Hey man, don't oversell yourself on the first message, or no one's gonna use you." That's when you say you provide value first, and then tell about what you do second, and that's kind of how I navigate it. And I get like a ton of engagement when I do that. Like every time I do that, I get like a ton of likes every time I say that. So that's what I've been doing, and
Like,
it's been killing it.
yeah, like a big support from the audience when you place such comment. But I mean, when I see comment like short comment like awesome, I like it, good, go for you, I already think that this professional is using bot, that this is not organic person behind the comment. So this is very tricky. For example, if you are thinking about your presence and your reputation, and you post organically such content like commenting awesome, then maybe some other people may think that you are not present at all, that you are using just bots. What do you think about such side
Yeah,
of the comment?
like it really comes down to like it depends. Like some people use bots to increase their awareness to also like get more valuable relationships. And like also at the same time, there's also just like skim bots that like I said before, there's bots that just go through and comment just to get awareness, to get more like likes. So for example, they might say, great post, and then they might say, go follow me. Or they might say like, oh, I'm a graphic designer, here's my link. And then so there's lots of kinds of bots. There's skim bots that basically comment just to get more awareness on their own page. There's bots to basically get more awareness on certain posts. So there's a lot of types of bots out there. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways to approach it.
I mean, just how do you think that professional can build the organic presence and strengthen its position, like build loyal relationships and make business out of the awesome good post? How can you add value to the post owner, and how can you show your personality, your professional expertise within such comment? What could be the idea of such presence building tactic?
I don't understand it, but like obviously it comes down to like when someone says awesome or great post, they're not providing very much value.
True.
And that's why I don't really normally respond to those type of comments. I just basically go for the people that are trying to provide value, and the tactic doesn't make sense. You'll most likely never get anything from that, but like when people actually provide value, that's when other people start seeing it, and that's when most people want to start reaching out. So providing value in that base, in that instance, will make it where you actually gain results out from it, when instead of bots or whatever, you're not going to gain anything. And I'm the same way about automation messaging, where like all of a sudden, like the automated messages like, hey, like this is what we do, is like, that sucks. No one likes to be automatically messaged on LinkedIn, and like I don't like it. So it's just one of those things, like you have to provide value to that person and then tell them what you want to do.
But how do you think that maybe we come to the conclusion that using bots, like if you are a busy professional, you just use bots because you want to build your awareness, but at the end you are not building anything, because you can build the relationship and business contacts and opportunities only through organic engagement, like building individual debate or conversation with the other person. So maybe it's just a vanity metric, a lot of reach, but at the end there is no real relationship after all. How do you think?
Like, it comes down to, you're not going, it depends like how fast you're looking for it. So for example, every single post, you're never going to get a quality relationship every single post. It's just not going to happen. And yes, the bots will increase your awareness so more people see it, but you may not get the relationships you want out of it, because that's the reality of the situation. You're not going to get quality relationships out of every single post you do, but eventually, after consistently posting every single day, that's when you start seeing a where people start getting used to you. That's when you start actually establishing a real relationship with them, to where they want to reach out and actually talk with you. So it just depends what you're going for, but you're never going to get those quick results when you post organically. It's just not going to happen.
But can you share what kind of posts have been like a real value for your audience, where they really truly engage, what they like from your content, what's been success for you in
Yeah.
terms of
So
building relationship? Yeah.
Yeah, so people have been loving, like, when I post that Amazon monthly news update and that social media news update, like I have like so many people that like literally say like, thank you so much, because like Amazon's
Mm.
changing so fast, and the marketing area is just changing so quickly that most people can't even keep up with it. But I kind of like summarized all the changes that happened with on a monthly basis, and people have really been enjoying that, and it's really made it where I established a lot of new relationships because of it. So posting monthly news of what's going on in the industry has been absolutely killing it when it comes to content. Another thing, I also started a newsletter. I don't know if you saw that. I started basically a Amazon monthly newsletter to basically start reaching out and gaining emails for. And I was going through my email list the other day, and they're all like huge names, like in the Amazon industry. I was like, they're subscribed to my newsletter. I was really surprised. But so like even people that like didn't want to join my webinars, they ghosted me for the webinars, but they subscribed to my newsletter because they still want the content. I was like, wow, okay. So I mean, I was just really surprised by it. I thought it was really awesome. So providing a lot of monthly news and updates, that was really valuable. So I would highly recommend doing that. And something that's recently been working really well. Today I did a post about going the more philosophical way of saying like, someone will always be better than me, someone will always be happier than me, and going more that ego route. Like, ego is always the enemy. Don't be egotistical. You suck. Don't worry about it, kind of area. And that post went viral. That killed it. Um,
Yeah, actually, the personal posts are really the good ones. People really appreciate you opening up.
Yeah, like every time I start out a post with like I started out one post, like I used to be unhappy. I started out like that one. That one killed it. The post today I did, someone will always be better than me. That killed it. Like having those posts with lots of humility really makes a big difference and usually goes viral most of the time. So I'm really happy with the performance on those most of the time.
I think it's important to build the content and relationship with your audience with the subject they can relate. so they feel the same. So, and then this is the area where you build your warm audience from the cold audience, when you just open up a little and then people can relate, and then you are already in the warm area. So
Exactly.
this is why they sign to your newsletter. This is why they sign to your webinar, because they trust that you can deliver more value. But you have opened up a little, so it took your personal side to show up for people to trust you on professional level as well.
Exactly. And like it's really interesting, like when it comes to establishing a relationship, you have to provide just a tiny bit of value just so they can like leave. And then the first time they interact with you, they might know your name. They might know the first letter of your name. They might see like they might recognize your face just a little bit. That's where I try to push visual content so much, is because that's where you really establish it's a much stronger bond. When you are on video and on like images and everything else, it's a super strong bond when you're through a video, because it's like talking to another person, but through a screen. We're used to interacting with people through screens now. So it's like talking to another person, making it where that relationship becomes stronger. But with text-based content, you can't necessarily do that. It's very difficult to really establish that connection on that level without making it visual. That's why I like video content better, but it doesn't perform as well on LinkedIn yet. So
So it
that's
means you have to mix, right? Again, we come back to the mix of the content. You cannot choose just one type. You have to experiment and use different types. What do you think about memes and GIFs and all kind of fun thing? Because now I think it takes over the pools. Even the pools were like in hype a couple of months ago. Now memes and GIFs are all over. How do you feel about them?
I tested a GIF on this one post, and I don't know why LinkedIn literally gave me 0 views. Or like no, sorry, it wasn't 0, it was 3. I think it was like 3
Yeah.
views. I don't know why. I don't know if you've never used a GIF in a post, but like they just kill it. Like I don't know if that was just one random thing. They like just killed my post. Like they didn't even show it. Like I think those 3 views were
Mhm.
me. So I don't know why, but I haven't used GIF since. But basically, what I did was I took that same post of that GIF, copied the text, made it a text post, and that went viral. And I was like, "What the heck is that?" It was like, "Why'd you kill my post?" And so I don't know why that happened, but that
Maybe
I don't know why.
maybe it was some kind of glitch, you never know, you never understand. And then it's good that person who is new to LinkedIn, it doesn't get frightened, oh, you get only 3 views. Try again, like you said, copy the text, add some new visual, or just go as a text, and everything's going to be all right.
Yeah. And I haven't been afraid to A/B test anything. Like for example, I posted 2 um last Thursday. I basically posted one text-based content, and then I did the same exact post on Friday but with a PDF, just saying like, "Oh, I forgot the PDF." And just to A/B test on which one I needed an A/B test. So I tested them both, and I just posted the same content twice essentially, but one with a PDF, one without, and I want to know the text based one. So unfortunately, so it
So,
makes me so angry that the text based keeps winning, but it does.
but somehow you have to understand that the text-based posts are the basic ones, and the good ones, the secure ones actually as well, but in only in situation when your content holds some value. So it means that you deliver value if your audience is engaging even with a text post.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I think it's mainly a LinkedIn thing too. A lot of people, I've always look at a lot of polls on LinkedIn, and most people do prefer text based. And I think it's more of a LinkedIn audience type of thing. People prefer text based. I do read a lot more on LinkedIn, more than like I hardly read things, but when I'm on LinkedIn, I just notice myself reading a lot more anyway. So I think it's just more of a LinkedIn type of thing.
But what do you think about the new option of LinkedIn adding 3,000 characters to our posts? It's like blogging every day. What about our audience? How they can handle it?
Yeah, I've only reached the max limit of the 1,200, like I never do text-based content, so this is probably why, but I've only reached that limit probably 3 times ever. I post every single day and I've only reached the max of that 1,200 or 1,300 only literally 3 times probably. So I never reached that. You have a lot more like you do a lot more formatting in yours, like with emojis and everything else. So you probably reach that pretty quickly actually on yours, right? Or do you not?
How do you mean? I reach
Do,
the views?
like no,
No.
the character limit.
The characters.
Yeah.
No,
Oh
actually, for
yeah.
me, it's always challenging to pack my ideas, so it's not, going too wide. I always have to think about the audience. Should they read all of it, or what is the essence? And then now you have to widen up to 3,000 characters. Actually, for me, the question about posts and articles with the 3,000 characters is like articles are indexed on Google, but what about posts? So it's
Yeah.
kind of extra work, and you don't know that the eyes will be led to your post. So this is tricky one. But
Have you done an article lately? Because they like last I posted one last month and they got horrible views or horrible traction. Is that still the case?
actually, I don't know. Articles are somewhere, they are lost. But I think this is something evergreen, which you can always use, like clips from our live
Yeah.
webinar. This is something you can always repurpose again in your content and lead people to your blog, and you don't lead outside the LinkedIn, which algorithm really likes. So you
Mhm.
people still say in a channel, but then you can always make an update to the article, and maybe they become indexed on Google, so extra eyes come to your LinkedIn article, which is good. And I don't know, sometimes some professionals, like you mentioned newsletter. Does it means like email newsletter or LinkedIn newsletter?
It's
what
an
what
e-
the,
Mine's an email newsletter just because LinkedIn hasn't gave me access to their newsletter yet.
Actually, I've heard that they've stopped or paused, so it's like in some questionable status at the moment. So,
I try to get so because it's so powerful because like you have there's like a little like subscribe button to the newsletter that like it's in the notifications. I was like, man, I want that. So I really tried hard to get into that program, but they didn't let me. So
but imagine if you have like 10,000 followers and they instantly everyone get your message. It's not like your post, which you are like wishing the algorithm would serve it more. It's
yeah,
like you instantly get it in your mailbox.
yeah,
What a
it's
what
great.
a powerful tool, right?
Yeah, for sure. I wish I would have access to that kind of tool. That'd be really amazing and make it a lot easier to like just have a good audience like that. But for now, just kind of have to deal with what we got, the
But
normal posting.
actually, yeah, we have some extra news on company pages as well. Like the company pages got this option of one article. Like you can really create the showcase article and then explain your story about the brand or the new product features or something. But I think if they index on the Google as well, so this is a good start for the company page. And what I like about companies that company pages that you can really create events, and LinkedIn algorithm is very friendly to promote those events. This is something you can really leverage on. I think that the algorithm somehow likes to promote your event, and you can do less work on promoting such kind of like happening. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, I'm trying to like get a full event strategy going on LinkedIn. Because like right now I use like Restream, which does like a fake event. It's like it does a post on the event, but it's not like a real event within it. So basically I haven't been able I want to do a full like event strategy where I'm doing like a weekly webinar for that event because it does populate there is an event page underneath your connections, which I was trying to get to because I don't I did one I don't know if you saw it. I did one 2 months ago. I did a huge Amazon webinar event. I got like the biggest speakers in the industry to go all on one webinar. I had like I don't remember. It was like I had 130 people watching live. It was crazy. I never get that many live, and then I got like a ton of people after. So I got a ton of engagement on it, and it ended up being really successful. I did a dual Clubhouse and LinkedIn webinar all in one. With I had 13 people. I had 13 speakers on Clubhouse and LinkedIn at the same time. It was crazy, but it ended up being really successful. So I was really happy about that.
But I think that your audience is following you just because you're being crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely because I'm trying crazy things. Like
But
no one
actually,
is. I haven't seen anyone try to do a LinkedIn live and like LinkedIn, YouTube, and Clubhouse all in the same time. But we figured it out. So I always have to try these new things, new tactics, and I did it on that one, and yeah, it turned out really well. I think we had 300 people on Clubhouse and 120 on LinkedIn, and it was a big event. It was the biggest event I've ever hosted. So it turned out really well. I was really happy with that progress. So yeah, LinkedIn events are really powerful.
yeah, and actually, I think the powerful option the LinkedIn events are offering the companies is the list of the people attending event even before the event. So this is
True.
something you can already start to communicate and engage. So you have your warm audience. It means that you already have like focus group people who really care about your subject. This is something special the companies can really and businesses leverage on LinkedIn events.
And another thing is LinkedIn, like the person gets notified. So if someone registers for your event, it notifies all their followers that they registered for that event. So making it where it's like a huge cascade event of
Yeah.
people that register for your event. So it's very powerful. It really is. So I definitely suggest doing events if you can.
Yeah, and I really like that they are favored by algorithms. So it means that we really get notified about different valuable events. So this is good for the audience. I mean, I like that LinkedIn is taking care of the quality content and delivering it to the audience. So we know, like, for example, today you mentioned that you received my post in your feed.
Yeah.
Finally, thanks algorithm.
Yeah, it was in my notifications. I was like, wow, that's sweet.
Actually, one thing I noticed in my private profile is that I have the story option, and I post the stories quite often. And now I saw that there is follow button. It means that people who don't follow me yet, they can see my story, and immediately from the story they can start to follow my content, which is really nice to have. You know, this button helps.
How
And
many views are you getting on that? Are you getting
no,
traction?
I have really small views, and but sometimes I really enjoy seeing those people. I never know that they read my content. They never. I don't know if they engage with my feed because I don't see them, but I see them in my stories, which is nice. You know, I say, "Oh, you are in my story today. This is nice." Uh,
Yeah.
what
I've
what I
only
like.
gotten like one. So I base all my content off relationships. That's all I care about. And I've only gotten like one relationship off the stories I did post. And I was really happy, like, because it's really easy to like text. So I might make some jokes on it, and people like type and they message me. It like goes into a message, and the relationship rate is pretty good actually when it comes to stories. I just need to get more. I just need to like. I wish they would increase the amount. Like I never when I use LinkedIn, I never go to stories. I got invited to like so many pages. So basically, if I wanted to view a story, I would have to like do this. I would have to swipe right like a couple of times in order to see it. So it makes it where I never view the stories. I don't know if it's like that for anyone else, but I know it's like that for me. That's why I never view stories anyway. So,
But do you ever notice that LinkedIn is notifying you that some of your connections are creating stories in the feed as well? So you get the notification about the new story in your feed, which is nice. So you can track it two ways. You can track it on desktop in your feed, and you can track it on phone, like you said, swiping left and
yeah, I'll have
so
to
there's
check.
option.
I don't think
Mhm.
I've seen that yet.
What I like about the company page is that stories can be placed as videos, which is different to the private profiles. In the private profile, you can only place a photo, like image. On the company page, you can place video file as well. This is nice for the business, and
Yeah.
the link to the, I don't know, to the post or to the web page, which is nice as well.
Yeah,
And
I've been scared to post links in my organic post. I don't just because I'm afraid the algorithm might kill me because of it.
yeah.
So I always put in my comments just to be safe. But I don't. Do you know? Does it kill you if you put links in your post?
That's a good question actually. But how do you? Can you reply to one question before? Do people share your content? Because then the comment is lost. You know, when they share. So that's why it's useful to keep the link in your text body.
True. I don't get that many reshares. I get
Mm-hmm.
probably the most reshares I probably get is probably about eight, 8 or 10, like not 9 or 10,
Mm-hmm.
probably. So I don't, and usually those get when people reshare, you got hardly any engagement on those. I don't know why when people reshare, they don't get that much engagement. So I usually don't worry about reshares too much.
Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, I use links within the post in terms of the, the easy approach for the audience, not to look somewhere in the comments. But sometimes, really, if I I have to post the Instagram link or a Facebook link or something, then I might add it within the comment section. But I think it depends on the quality of the content. Again, of the people who will engage, people tag the visual you are adding to their text post. So sometimes the link can go quite far. It depends on all the mix you use, and as well hashtags, because some hashtags are really like elevators. Uh, I have some posts testing hashtag love, for example, and there's a small text post, and it really just keeps going, 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 and it's like evergreen content just because of one hashtag. And
That's great.
recently I experimented with two other hashtags. Those were sales and communications, I believe. And I tagged also one of my network, like mind, and he didn't engage for almost half a day. But the post was growing just because of those hashtags while the person engaged. And then I got an extra engagement because of his audience, but still only because of those two hashtags my post was growing by itself. So sometimes you can add the link within the text, but if you have a good hashtag, the reach can grow as well. So
Yeah.
don't worry.
I kind of just post whatever hashtags come to my mind. I don't I don't have like a good like hashtag strategy, I guess per se. I usually post about 7 or 8 hashtags usually, and I kind of just whatever comes to my mind, like what I'm talking about, and then just kind of go in that direction and just see if that's it. But I usually don't spend more than about 20 seconds on my hashtag. I
But
probably
actually
should,
now,
but I usually don't.
yeah, a couple of weeks ago, few professionals on LinkedIn, they announced that it's much better to use three hashtags now. We'll see how it goes, how much time we can live with three hashtags. Maybe in the end of the summer, we're gonna have another news that use 10 hashtags or use one hashtag. We'll see. But it's changing, yeah. And it's also nice that you experiment with hashtags. That you don't have any strategy, but still we have to know that some hashtags really help to grow the reach.
Yeah.
So it's organic trick to add some hashtags to your posts.
Yeah. And lately I've also been doing like like relatable content also. So like for example, I did one post about like you're a marketer when like dot dot dot. Like in like I would always do jokes like that. And you can do it with like it's basically something you can do with any industry. So for example, if you're in sales, like you salespeople, salespeople when someone asks you why are you stressed, for example, and then you can like go through all that, or like salespeople when someone asks you, um, like how to get more sales, and then you just kind of go into that and make it specific to your industry. That's been doing really well. Those usually every single time I've done that, they've gone viral. So those work really well. So, and it's something you can apply to any industry. So I would try like just basically just specify what your audience is. So for me,
Yeah.
it'd be marketers. So I would say marketers. When someone asks you, why are you so stressed all the time? Then I would go into like, well, the new iOS 14 update is killing us. What? And then also we have clients always talking to us, and then you can kind of go into it, make it super relatable, and establish that relationship. And that does really well when it comes to increasing engagement on LinkedIn and just getting a lot of views in your particular industry. So that's been
I,
working well.
I really like to hear that you are structuring your posts, like in terms of knowing your audience, approaching the audience within the hook, within the invite to start, even to start to want to read your post. So this is something people who think about starting creating content should be aware that it's nice to approach your audience in the beginning so that the people know that it's for them and they engage more deep within the content. They really think that they should find some value within the post. So it's good that you structure. I like.
Yeah, exactly.
How,
It's really important to have that kind of hook in there. And I've been like playing around with a ton of hooks. Like, for example, I talked about the philosophy hook, like saying something outrageous. Like, I used to be unhappy. Someone will always be better than me. Having those like extreme hooks, and then you like can call out people directly. So marketers, Amazon sellers, or anything else.
yeah.
And that does really well. So having that beginning hook is really important when designing your content for sure.
How do you feel about CTA, like a call to action? Does it work for you? Have you noticed that it works for a network? Any other examples on the LinkedIn? How do you feel people like to engage to CTA, or it's just a natural thing for people to
Where
respond?
do you mean CTA? Like in the
It's so
comments?
you can place it at the end of the post, like the before hashtags, for example. You can ask some question, ask people to engage or reflect or something.
Yeah, the way I basically structured it, I usually say I'd love to hear your thoughts. Either that or I might ask them a question. And I typically try to make it as non-fluffy as possible. So like for example, like you might see an Instagram post that says, what's your favorite color, for example.
Yeah.
And that's very fluffy. It's a very fluffy statement question. And I try to make it very like non-fluffy. So for example, I don't like to ask obvious questions at the end of the post, like I might say, for example, let's say if I'm talking about ego and why you should have ego and why you should always say that you suck, but also be super motivated and not feel down because of that. I might at the end of that post say that what's something that you do to silence your ego, or like something that's like a little bit more serious, so that way they can provide value and not have that extra fluff, and so that way it doesn't feel like I'm just trying to get them to comment, because that's not the goal. My goal is to get them to actually establish a relationship. I could care less if you comment on my post. So I don't want them to feel baited in order to comment. So that's why I try to make it less fluffy.
But how do you think, how can we trigger our audience to place the comments? I mean, not for algorithm, but for the debate, for the conversation, for putting themselves out, opening up. What could be the trigger in the post?
Yeah, it really comes down to the person and how you structure that ending question. So, if you do notice that they are reading, most people won't actually read all the way down to your content, but for the
Okay.
ones that do, like really like focus in and like why would someone like ask yourself, why would someone comment? Like they read your entire post, which is really good, and they obviously got a lot of value if they kept reading each line and every single line. They didn't get bored anyway through the post. Then ask, okay, I just finished reading this post and I just finished learning. What can I ask to get them to also display their thoughts. And usually on posts that are highly disagreeable, of what I might say, usually get lots of comments, and where they start arguing and things like that. Like I don't do like I'm not like yo, it has to be my way, but I do throw out things that aren't like the normal. So there are things out there that I just spit out because I know that they're the truth. They're my truth, at least. So that's where I just ask myself, how would I get myself to comment on a post and make it not fluffy? And that's how I get people to comment on my posts.
That's nice. Have you noticed that sometimes your comments are liked by the audience? So people start liking just specific comments. I mean, this is something really valuable, that people already like the post, and then they start to look on the comments, and then they find that this person is really good addition to the Victor's post. I mean, this is a like end goal of commenting, that people really relate to what you can add. Like, you're already adding value to Victor's post, and then people see you as an additional value. I think this is really nice when people appreciate you commenting.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. And like that's also how commenting is a great way to establish that that ending that relationship. That's how you kind of start out the relationship. And if someone asks a question like, "Oh, how do you do that new strategy?" then I might get like a total conversation of Amazon. Like for example, on that Amazon seller post, they said, "Oh, what tool are you using to do that?" And I literally was having a full conversation in my comment list. Everyone was like commenting like, "Oh, but what if you do this and this and this?" And like I was going down and I was having a full group conversation in my comment list. I got lost in it really quickly because it's so hard to manage, but it worked really well. So it just depends on what post type you have, but it's a great way to get lots of engagement.
I mean, if the company is looking for engagement from its team, from its followers, then maybe this is the good tip, that you have to be. That tips and tricks is a good topic to rise the debate, and start people commenting, and you engaging, and reaching more eyes to your subject, that you are giving more details, not only like fluffy information, but you are really digging more deeper in the subject. You can be like expert of the field, and you can open up a little bit more of Pandora box, and let people know more, because they have more questions, and then this is the option where you can really discuss the topic. So
Yeah.
this is nice.
Yeah, it really is. And I had a funny meeting a couple of weeks ago, and I hop on the call and they're like, "Hey, we got to work with you." And they were like, "Let's set up a call." And I hop on the call, their whole team is there, and they were like, "Hey, it's like we're talking to a celebrity right now." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "That is just no, that you got the wrong person here." Like I just
Mm,
thought it was so funny that like how LinkedIn you can like establish a certain persona of like who you are, and I just thought that was so crazy. It was like just because I post content every day,
yeah.
like that doesn't like it doesn't mean anything. Like yes, I'm here to provide value, but that doesn't make me any better than anyone else. So I just thought it was so crazy that someone would have that persona of me even though like I'm just a normal person. So I just find that so funny.
I think, but it's just logical ending. I mean, of this cycle, that people see you on public, they already perceive you as a public person, but it doesn't doesn't make any effort for them to start to be public as well. We really are working here, and we are creating relationships here on LinkedIn. We are not celebrities, right, as you say, but I think everybody can start to be present on LinkedIn. Just follow good example, like you say, be frequent, be there, experiment, and just follow good examples like you, Victor, for example, or follow my content. I'm very personal, sharing my kids stuff, and many other information also on LinkedIn topic. But just be experimenting, be opening up. That's important thing, I think, I guess.
Yeah, and lately I've been coming up with so much content. Like that content I came up with today, I literally was in the middle of the night. I was like I woke up from a dream and I was like that would make such a good LinkedIn. I get a lot of my content just by waking up randomly, and I literally just get my notepad, I get my on my phone, just get my notepad and just start typing. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is like literally content gold." And I knew it was going to go viral. It went viral today. And I was like, that would make such a good post. And so most of my content this week is all from dreams that I just woke up in the middle of the night and started thinking about. So it's funny how that works, but I mean, that's what I've been doing. And like you don't, when it comes to content, you just got to test everything. So even if it comes in the middle of the night, it's just something you got to do.
But again, Victor, can you relate that still you are all that content you are delivering is about value for your audience, or it's personal about, I don't know, some professional triggers they have on their daily life, or it's like LinkedIn or YouTube or Amazon related, but it's still in some structure, even if it's like a spontaneous idea, but it's still in some structure. I mean, people are always worried what to post, what kind of content to choose, and I think this is just a matter of take a pen, take a paper, drink your tea, drink your coffee, and think what is the value you can deliver to your audience, what is something you can really be well and share.
I think
So
the biggest way you can create content on LinkedIn is by not actually trying. Like
mm,
you can't you like for me as a person, I can't like sit down and think about what to write. Like I get writer's block. It won't happen. And especially since I'm not a writer. Oh my gosh, like I am just not a writer anyway. But like when I just come up with random ideas, I just put them in my notepad and then like I might look at it once a day and then it will spark another idea. So like
mm,
I would just say when you're trying to think of content to post on LinkedIn, just put it random thoughts in a notepad, and then as that seed starts growing in your mind, you'll start to get more things that you want to write about just as you work throughout your day. And it's just something that happens, to something that'll just you'll constantly think about until you eventually have a full paper to write, a full piece of content to write about, and that'll eventually end up being really 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 good. So it just starts out with just random thoughts that you have, and then just go from there, because you have to remember, like all passion is just multiple streams of curiosity. So if you're curious about any particular thing or these random ideas that you have, you never know where they may lead. Your curiosity will follow, and eventually you become passionate about your content because you're following that multiple stream of curiosity. All these random thoughts you have are there for a reason. Random thoughts are not random. They're there because your external environment, you just can't think of why they're random, but they're not random. They're coming to you for a reason, and that is going to help you develop your thoughts and make it where you can have more content to write on LinkedIn.
yeah, but even if you say random thoughts, random content, again, every random thought has its audience. So
True.
don't worry if it's random thought. Just go out, place the post, and then you will get your audience. Some people will reflect on that topic for sure.
Yeah. And I don't worry about audience too much. Like, for example, I might post one day a social media update and then an Amazon update, and then I might start talking about philosophy. So those are three hugely different audiences.
Yeah.
And I just let LinkedIn kind of like choose what audience to go and choose. And that way it just goes in that direction. Because, for example, the social media audience and the Amazon audience, two completely separate things. They don't care about either one of those. So I just let like LinkedIn kind of decide what content to deliver to those people and kind of just go from there. So that way I'm making headway in all different types. Because in the Amazon space, kind of like I've already dominated that niche for the most part. Everyone knows who I am, so I can kind of move on to the next niche, like of social media marketing and things like that, because that's a huge, huge, huge niche. So for me, it's just like really just targeting all different types of audience, try all different types of posts, and just see what happens. Like just trying
But
philosophy posts and things like that.
But do you can you relate that the audience can cross? Like, I mean, I need information from you about social media, and I need information from you about the philosophy topics. Maybe not about the Amazon. I'm not in Amazon yet, but the other people who are in Amazon, they like the philosophy topics as well. So this is where you cross with your audiences, and you get more eyes on several topics.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And when the good thing about philosophy-based topics is that they're relatable to everybody. Like everyone needs to silence their ego, and most people know they need to silence their ego. Unless you're egotistical, then you don't have you're saying, "Oh, I'm already perfect. I don't need to worry about it." And those I'm not talking to those people, so it's all good. But um, yeah, like I'm basically just trying to reach different people in a philosophical way, which did not think that would happen on LinkedIn. I originally started when I was in my content journey. I started it doing a philosophy based way, and that did horrible. Like I was posting every day, but like philosophically, the content did horrible every single time. But now when I post a philosophical post, it goes viral every time. So super weird. But when I was starting out my content journey, like my philosophical post did horrible every single time. So
But
just how it is.
do you agree that this is like already old news? LinkedIn is not only a business topic related platform because we do business. We are people, professional people working every day, but we are still humans and we care
Yeah.
about a lot of topics like all those ego topics and then Amazon topics. So I think that's very valuable that you are brave to come up with different directions of the content. So it the winners are only the audience is only winner because of such choice by the content creators. I believe so.
Yeah. And when it comes to philosophical content, being able to post things that most people are afraid to talk about makes a big difference. Like most
Yeah.
people aren't okay with saying like I used to be unhappy, or they might not be okay with saying someone will always be better than me. Most people that makes them very uncomfortable, and they necessarily don't have the same confidence level to say those type of things and be okay with it. And that's where my content's really been able to stand out for a lot of people. And I think that's what's making I think that's the reason why it's making the most headway. But yeah, it's definitely exciting for sure.
And I mean, you always get a lot of engagement. I see those thumbs and hearts within your posts. Maybe people are not commenting. That's normal because people are not ready to go out and start to create even the small content like comment, but still they post the emojis and they show that they reflect. And I think that's the answer, that you should follow these pillars, like follow these directions and just be experimenting, as you say. Don't be afraid of LinkedIn or social media content. Just go and test.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's this new tool that I'm gonna show you eventually. Super cool. It's like an AI recognition tool. It's a social media image recognition tool, basically, and it's able to basically go through all your LinkedIn content and tell you what subconscious level reasons why the content does better. So, for example, you might have a ton of content of you with your face or versus without your face, and it will be able to tell you what content does better. And you even it gets so granular, you can get on the color level. So, for example, it might decipher saying, "Oh, this color does better than this color," and you can get super complicated levels, and it's really cool. So I got
Are
access
you
to.
going to show it now, live, or after?
I don't think I didn't ever prepare it. I didn't prepare it. I was just something I wanted to tell you about. That I was
Cool.
going to show you. But no, I was not planning on showing the webinar.
Actually, I see a lot of value from such kind of tool in terms of analytical aspect. When you really have to understand what to use, what kind of expression for your comments, for your content. So this is kind of a nice tool to include in your analytics strategy.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm gonna start posting. I was gonna post it like whatever I learn. I was just gonna post it and just see like how it does, and just see like, hey, here's all the stuff you can do with your content to make yours better. And all the stuff I learned there. And I'm gonna start posting more Amazon or more marketing strategies, tactics too, like, hey, this will do better than this, and just kind of like going in the tactic area. So that way I'm kind of like doing like everything. I'm going to tactics, philosophy, like all these different directions, and just gonna see what kind of works the best. So that's kind of my goal.
I just hope this tool doesn't say you that, Victor, you should use only posts with your face, not your guest.
Oh man. No, I don't think that's what it'll say. It'll probably be the opposite. Like, it's funny every time. Like, this is crazy. This is something I noticed. This is what the tool will probably end up saying. Every time I have a girl on the webinar, it always does better than a guy. Every single time. I'm not even joking. Every single time, if I have a girl on, I get way more engagement on LinkedIn than when if it's a guy. I don't. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. So if I was a girl, I would get a ton more engagement. I would be killing it right now.
You have karma thing now. Maybe that's why you are men. But this is nice. This is nice to know. Maybe for the next time, then all the girls should be like fluffy ones, you know, so they get even more traction.
Yeah, I won't be bringing on Brazilian supermodels or anything.
No. That would actually make the content more I think engaging, and this is what we are about. We need to deliver value, and value doesn't mean only the strict corporate information. It means like emotions, so people can share empathy, they can really react and interact. So I think this is the end goal of any content, that you engage your audience. So why not?
Too bad I don't know any Brazilian supermodels, so it's I guess I just have to deal with business professionals for now.
So you have to wait for the next invite to go to Brazil to work there for some team.
Yeah, that's probably what I have to wait for. But most likely that LinkedIn content won't do as well because it's not talking about anything professional. So most likely won't do. On Instagram, I'll kill it, but in TikTok, I'll kill it, but most likely not LinkedIn.
How do you think about the content distribution? I mean, like when you do this recording, I really like that you are separating. You have vertical clips, you have horizontal clips, you have square clips, you have clips with subtitles, without subtitles. I think it's very, very smart that you are working on valuable content, and then you can like separate it in different formats and use it in different platforms. So the brand or business or professional, they get a lot of stock with valuable information they can share, like monthly, you know, for a year or whenever the information is still valid.
Yeah, I try to make it like adaptable to every platform. Right now, the majority formats that most people need are the square. Like I give them the square version, the rectangle version, and the portrait, the story version. And that way, that way anyone can post it anywhere for any platform and be super relevant. Because as I know, like as both of us are marketers, we know how important formats are. Like we can't just grab a TikTok clip and make it a square. Like you can't do that. And like you have to adapt it for that particular platform. And that's what's going to make it important. So that's what I try to do when I tell my content team to make the content.
How do you feel that TikTok kind of format content could come to the LinkedIn? I mean, the short one, the engaging one. You know, how do you feel about that?
So my TikTok strategy has been sucking. I do TikTok strategy for clients. I still suck at it with myself. But for a majority, I don't think that short based content will do that. Because my video content doesn't do as well rather than like for example, my text based. So I think
Mhm.
LinkedIn is still going in that text based era,
True.
um rather than video until they update it. Now my videos get a lot more than they did last time. Like before, that I told you about it, that one
Yeah.
random update
Yeah.
where like I went from like getting 1,000 views on my video every single time to 5,000. So every time I
Yeah.
post a video I get 5,000 views, which is good, but compared to a text based it's still like not that much. So like at least I'm getting in the 5,000 area with my video content. So they're pushing it harder, just not as much as text. So it's just something I have to deal with.
But I mean, this is something what professionals should understand, that this is long-term investment. You never know when the algorithm, for example, will be more friendlier to the video content. And then you, Victor, you already have a library full of content. You have done this investment and you still have this content on relevant topics. And I think it's not possible that video is going out somewhere. Just maybe, it's just some switches, some changes, but still video is relevant. As you said, people want to see people live, hear, see emotions, everything. So text cannot do all the functions so alone. That's
Yeah,
true.
you're so right. You're so right. And like, and I can't connect with people on that same level when it comes to text based. So I really hope they push video content pretty soon, so that way I can connect on that whole other level. And Gary Vaynerchuk said like everyone here should be like he's like everyone here should be posting 40 pieces of content on LinkedIn. And I was like thinking like how in the world, like I post so much content on LinkedIn. I post probably 10 pieces of content per week on LinkedIn. And I don't know how in the world you can get to 40 without the algorithm killing you. I can easily get to 40. Like I have like all these thoughts in my head. I can get to 40 like in seconds,
Uh,
but the algorithm's gonna kill me if I get to that. So I don't know how in the world you can.
Victor, have you noticed that the big guys, like the legendary guys, different like thought leaders, they use two tactics. They use private profile and they use page. And page actually is the platform where you can post as much as you wish, and algorithm will not like punish you. This is the way how you can. This is how I told you about as well a couple of months ago, that you should create page and have double channels. Actually, this is the way how you can post more and get your frequency on posting. So you double your channels.
Yeah, I guess I just don't see like how I could like as a user, I don't think I would ever follow a page.
Yeah, but
Like
if you have events, like you have events, you have some, you can structure your topics. Some topics go to the page, some topics go to the private profile. So people need to follow the page to get the value from you. So you are directing. You are like, you're a policeman on the road, directing your audience where to go, where's the value.
yeah, yeah, maybe it's something I need to try. Yeah. What is when you post on your page? What's the different? How? What have you seen?
Yeah.
Have you seen a bigger increase in engagement or less increase in engagement on it when you post to your page versus your personal?
Okay, my page is experiment because I'm professional. I need to be like, this experiment rabbit. My page doesn't have a big following. I use it for experimenting and again doubling this traction. But I don't know. I mostly I reshare my private profile posts. But when I'll do organic, then I will say. But I think it's good in terms when you do really have a lot of content, like you do. You have a lot of clips, a lot of webinar themes. You have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
directions where you can go. I mean, you can keep the personal topics for your personal profile, but then on a Amazon topic, you can go on both ways. So I mean, when you have a lot of content, it's good to use this algorithm friendly option just to post at least couple of hours. You are not punished.
How many posts are you doing per day on LinkedIn?
Me,
Yeah.
only one, because I don't want to be punished.
Yeah. Okay. You're doing one per day.
And no, sometimes it's not 7 posts per week. Sometimes it's maybe 5, sometimes 4. So it depends on situation. And I also sometimes I really allow algorithm to grow the post if it does well. So I don't post the next day after. I let the algorithm grow a little bit more, like a couple of days, and then I post another post.
Got
But
you. Cool.
but that but you've told me that sometimes you post some text or something and it doesn't go anywhere. So in this case, we are allowed to post the new post just I don't know in few hours, so the algorithm can boost the most fresh one.
Yeah, and like if I know a post is supposed to go viral and the algorithm didn't
Mm.
do it, I'll just gonna post it next week. Like that whole GIF thing, I was so angry. I was like, man, this is gonna kick it. And then it didn't do anything. It got 3 views. I was like, okay, I'm posting it next week and it's gonna go viral. And then I posted it next week, went viral. I was like, okay, yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. So because I knew it was supposed to be good. So if something doesn't go well and the algorithm just messes it up, I'm just gonna post it next week and just go with that.
But what I like about the gifs that I really trust, for example, I trust the person I follow, and if I see the gif helps me. It's the visualization of the topic, of the problem, of the I don't know. There is some trigger within the gif, and it really helps me to understand the text post better. It's like the
Yeah,
complete set. Sometimes it's not enough with the text. You need to add something. It's like cherry, on the
yeah,
cake.
yeah,
So
and I guess that's where images come into play. Like I don't know why. Maybe GIFs do work on LinkedIn. Maybe just like it wasn't in that case for me. But I know images work well. But yeah, I know at least for GIFs in that instance did not work for me. So I'll try GIFs again at some point. But yeah, I think that's gonna be the way to do it.
we need to learn how to make them. I think that's the good thing, to make yourself a gift.
Yeah. Oh yeah, do like a I don't know, like some crazy GIF, yeah. I need to like do like a party one, a party GIF, and then like just a
If you
normal
add the Brazilian model,
with the Brazilian.
then yeah, then you can skip the live conversation, and this will give you a good traction.
That's funny. I don't know, like I don't know what we can do with the Brazilian, but like I don't know. I
Wait,
don't know, do
wait.
something. That's funny.
Yeah. How do you feel? How much time it is for you at your place? It's,
It is
it's
current
midnight.
what? It's currently almost
It's
midnight for me.
yeah, true.
Is there anything else you wanted to cover before we sign off?
I don't know. We covered a lot. We had a lot of freestyle as well, but I think we covered quite a lot of topics. We'll see how we can deliver the value for our audience out of this
Yeah.
recording. I hope so.
And lately I've stopped doing introductions in content and just literally started the conversation right in the middle. And those
Mhm.
do a lot better. And just like starting, like for example, I might start talking about how to sell on Amazon. And instead of like for example, how to sell on Amazon, and then I might start talking about the rankings within Amazon. I'm gonna like take out the introduction and then just literally go into right in the middle of the conversation, put the title in how to sell on Amazon, and then that does a lot better. So that's lately what I've been doing. I've been taking out the introduction and just skipping right in the middle, and that's been working better.
I follow this sample as you mentioned. When I do the posts, I try to figure out not that you start with a question, for example, but you start with a solution already. That the person knows that there is this promise that there is a solution within the post. I don't know, some kind of experimenting with the structuring.
Yeah, and that's been working better just because people get to the
Yeah,
solution faster, which makes it may where they
yeah.
engage more. I don't know,
They
but
can decide. They can
yeah,
decide if
yeah,
they want to read, and it means that you really get the audience which is engaged. You don't get the all audience who don't care. Maybe.
yeah. Yeah, I assume so. Like my goal is just to, like test as many 1,000 different things as I can and kind of just roll with what works. So that's kind of what I'm going with.
That would be crazy to see your statistics in general, like how much you post, how often you are online, how much you sleep or whatsoever, you know.
I spent a lot of my day working, a lot of my and any of my free time, my very little amount of free time playing volleyball. So,
Yeah.
and lately I've been getting into country dancing. Very interesting. I'm from Texas. Country dancing's like really big, and I even got a here. Wait, I got to go get my hat. I got a brand new hat.
Loves.
I got this brand new spanking hat.
You should start with that, Victor.
I know. I should have started out with this.
Yeah.
So yeah, so basically, I'm gonna start country dancing now, and I got a cowboy hat. So because I figured I needed a cowboy hat. So
Create a content
this
on
is what
that.
I got.
Create a content. You should
What?
create a content. Create a content on that.
Yeah, I need to like those quote pictures that I do. I need to like get one of those. I need to get a piece of paper and then do like one of those quotes, and then do like I need to like do this and like make one of those quotes and then put something on here.
Let's make a screenshot.
Yeah, like that's what I'm gonna start doing. Here, wait.
Smile.
There we go. And so I'll just figure out something like that. But yeah. But basically I spend a lot of my time working, and I dedicate about an hour of my time toward LinkedIn per day, which is a lot, but I try to get about that amount to create content and post the content and then schedule everything out. Or schedule and then comment and everything. So that's what I try to do. Because
So what can you suggest to any professional who is using LinkedIn but not very often, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, weekly, daily?
I would say that you're only going to do something that you're going to prioritize. So
True.
it's just get whatever your priority straight if that's what it is. So if they come up to you and they're saying, "Hey, I want to increase my I want to get more clients," how important is that to you? And literally any single person that you engage in on LinkedIn, you're going to get another potential relationship or another potential client. So if you are always if a person's always saying, "Hey, I want to get more clients," great. You have to spend more time on LinkedIn, then your priorities are straight. But you have to really put in the time and effort. So if someone really wants to get more clients, that you have to prioritize LinkedIn more when it comes to the B2B space. So that's just how it is.
True. Very logical. People want everything fast, they want to go to the pharmacy and get the pill, but we have to be consistent and be present on the channel. That's true if we want some results.
Yeah. Like for example, none of my posts, I was posting straight philosophy posts for the first month that I posted, and all of them did really bad. Like that's just how it is. Like I got maybe 100 views on every post, something like that. And then when I started posting Amazon news, then I started getting the thousands. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I got 1,000 views!" Ah! And then I just started posting Amazon news all the time. And then I got to about averaging about 4,000, 5,000. And then I started doing video content, going in that direction, and that started doing well all of a sudden, and then just kind of evolved from there. So it's just kind of random evolution of stuff. But for the first month I posted, it all sucked. It's just how it is.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good that you didn't stop, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because you're eventually going to get you're going to think of some random thing in your sleep that you're going to come up with and oh, that's it. And then you just start creating content. It starts doing really well. So just depends on what you want to do.
The good news, I have some content still who have 100 views. So it's up to us, just to continue, as you said, test as many as we can. Don't worry, just move on.
Yeah. test, learn, and just continue. That's all we can do. Test all these different types of scenarios and different tactics, and kind of just go from there. That's all we can really do. So that's all we really got. And like when I get these clips from me, I don't know if people are going to take me seriously in a cowboy hat or not, but I guess we'll see. That'll be a test. I'm going to grab that clip that I just talked about in a cowboy hat, and I'm going to test if I get more engagement on a cowboy with me with a cowboy hat on. I'm gonna have to start wearing a cowboy
you need
hat.
some tattoos for the next time, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to start like
No, Victor, you can put. Oh no, wait.
So we'll test something out. Something will be tested out there, so that way we can see if all my Texan audiences come to me.
Finger crossed. Finger crossed. So, how do you think we're good for today?
Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you everyone for listening. We're gonna wrap it up for today. Thank you so much. So good to have Ieva on, and thank you for listening, guys. As always a pleasure. I hope it was entertaining enough. Today was very entertaining. Hope you got value about it also. But thank you for listening, guys.